Hey, welcome back to another episode of Keep Standing. Excited to have you sharing with us on today. Listen, before we get started, as always, do me a big favor. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this content with others. We want to make sure that we're getting this message out and helping empower leaders all across the world. Well, listen, we've run it back with one of my favorite people. This is the second conversation with, again, one of the voices that I think is quickly becoming extremely important in our country. She is the pastor of the First Baptist Church in Bridgehampton, New York. She is an author, content creator. She's a thought leader. And I think more importantly, she really is rooted and grounded in a pastoral mission. Pastor Tish Dixon-Williams.
Hello.
Listen, this has been such a wonderful time of sharing together. And again, I'm grateful for your sacrifice to be with us. Let's jump right in.
Okay.
So in our last conversation, we talked a little bit about kind of so many different things going on in the courses of culture today. I mean, you're proclaiming, but you're also having to deal with social media being flooded and consuming so much time, and then media challenges and politics. Of course, we talked about what we dealt with in that season of grief. In the midst of all of that, and then having to go to the podium each week, how do you stay grounded?
I have come to find that my family and my support system ground me. Nothing will humble you like your family.
Right.
And so, but I appreciate that. The love of my nieces, nephews, godchildren, that keeps me grounded. Um, Gardening keeps me grounded. I think that's a gift my dad left me when he passed, because I would kill anything, but now I grow everything. I grow my own ginger. I grow tomatoes, cucumbers, and herbs. Anytime I get to either put my feet in dirt or grass, that grounds me. I love nature. Love nature. I'm an outdoorsy kind of girl. If I can pitch a tent in my backyard and sleep out there, I do it often. So I find grounding and God in nature. That keeps me sane.
Is that like part of a self-care strategy?
It is, because I don't believe that self-care is, for me, manicures and massages. That's maintenance in my book. Self-care to me is living the life where self-care is not necessary, being so proactive in how you care for yourself. That self-care is not as a result of everything going crazy in your life.
Yeah, it's such a buzzword now.
It really is. It's it's a fad to practice self-care. And I think we should. I just think we need to re-examine what self-care really is. Again, for me, it's not manicures and massages. That is maintenance. For me, self-care is a Delta Lounge. That's for me, self-care. Self-care is me paying for or engaging in things that make my life easier. Instacart is self-care for me. Anytime that I can use my time doing what I want to do is self-care for me.
Is it a battle sometimes to give yourself permission for some things?
Always. One of my biggest battles is not eating and working. Choosing to stop working to eat is self-care for me. It's a bad habit I developed when I was in corporate America, where I would choose to eat at my desk in order to plow through a project. And I took that into pastoring. And I remember I was sitting at my desk in the pastor's office, eating and typing at the same time. And I just stopped and said, you don't have to do that anymore. You can actually step away from this desk and enjoy a meal. But what does that say about us? That we won't even honor our bodies to give it 45 minutes to eat. That's self-care. Stop working and eating. And that's a fight I have daily. I had that fight this morning. I had ordered breakfast, but I wanted to edit.
I'm sitting there because I'm like, I fight with this all the
All
time.
the
And
time.
we think it's a badge because I'm like, I never go out to eat for lunch because listen, I can get more work done if I stay in my office. And then sometimes I'll just sit at my desk and then, bite here, bite there.
Mm. But this is the body. This is, if you think about it this way, this is the body that allows you to do all that you do. Our bodies have to be honored,
Yeah.
and and stopping to pause, to enjoy a meal, letting it digest properly. That's one way of saying thanks, body,
Yeah.
for all you allow me to do.
Yeah. These are like the little important pieces that get missed when you talk about leading. So people are saying, I want to lead and I want to tell me how to get the crowd, how to, get the stage or the platform or to go viral. But the reality is these are the little pieces. If you don't get this and you get that, it will crush you.
It will crush you. Take a nap. I have FOMO real bad, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
I never liked naps. The pandemic made me start taking naps.
Yeah.
The pandemic pushed me into
Yeah.
nap time. I didn't like naps because I felt like I was missing out on something, or how much more could I be doing versus sleeping? Naps are vital for me now. I travel too much. I have too many pastoral responsibilities, and I have to lay down.
Yeah.
And some of my best thoughts and ideas come after a nap.
It's this, you're fighting against this grinded culture.
Right.
Keep grinding, keep grinding. And then your body said, let me talk to you for a minute.
That's right. Because if you don't shut it down, your body will shut you down. Your body will say, that's enough. Okay, I'm done. Tried to warn you, but I'm done. We owe that to our bodies. This is the body that takes me up and down airplanes. This is the body that allows me to preach. This is the voice that allows me to communicate with people and help change lives. I have to honor it in a way that makes sense.
You get to a point in life where you start thinking, how do I get some longevity out of this thing? And, that's when these things become important.
Slow down to speed up.
So what we're trying to say as leaders in this season is to younger leaders, hey, pay attention to these things, because if you don't think it's important now, keep living.
Keep living.
Yeah.
Crazy story. So I'm walking through the Atlanta airport for, I don't know, whatever number time that month. My back is hurting. My lower back is hurting. My knee is in serious pain. My throat is raw. My all of these things are happening, and I begin to cry because I'm like, my whole body hurts. I felt like an exposed nerve. And the Spirit said, present your body as a living sacrifice, just like that. And I remember audibly like, okay. But that's the work. Yeah. And everybody wants this, but they don't realize, forget the toll on your emotional and spiritual self. Your physical self takes a beating.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens physically to the body just being on an airplane is insane. Preaching a sermon, they say, is the equivalent. One sermon is the equivalent of working an 8-hour day.
Right.
You burn more calories preaching a sermon than you would 30 minutes on a treadmill. This is serious work. And these are the things people don't see. This is the thing we signed up for that God didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Because God told us, we're like, no, I think I'll pass.
And it's the whole thing you often want to say, to other young leaders, I know you think you want this, but there's a hidden cost. Oh, yeah. There's a hidden cost. Mm-hmm. And if you knew what it was, if you look behind the curtain, you might not necessarily be as quick to run to it.
Yeah. I think one of the things that the highest price you pay is being anonymous. There's no hiding. But then let me take that back. When you're called, there is no hiding, right? Dr. Joel Gregory talks about he could not be hid. Mm-mm. Once you accept the call, that's it. You're like Jesus. You can't hide if you want to, because the light, the call on your life is too great. There's no hiding in ministry.
No.
You're exposed no matter what you do. You can walk in a room, and the minute you walk in, everything shifts for everybody. People know when you walk into a room. And that's like Jesus. Jesus couldn't be hid. A star told everybody where he was. It's like there's no hiding in Christ. There's no hiding in this call. So if you want to be the kind of person that hides, this is not the call for you.
Well, again, I'm grateful for your authenticity and your vulnerability. And again, I've said this, you really are becoming a major inspiration to so many in ministry. and especially the generation coming behind us, especially women,
Yeah.
and who are coming along in ministry, and you're trying to help mentor and guide. What is that myth that you think, one myth you want to debunk about what it means to be a pastor?
About being a pastor, specifically a woman in ministry.
Sure.
That being feminine is a detriment. Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook told me this. She said, never forsake your femininity.
Mm.
She said, because your femininity is directly attached to your divinity.
Wow.
It is the God essence in you. So never sacrifice that. And that is my advice. The number one, I think, comment I get is, you don't preach like a man. Whatever that means.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't try to define it. Yeah. But they say, you don't preach like a man, you preach like a woman. Well, I am a woman. Last time I checked, I'm a woman. I'm somewhat of a girly girl. And I lean into that. It goes back to the authenticity piece. Yeah. That's a superpower for me. Being a woman is a superpower. Yeah. I don't think it should ever be looked at as a deficiency in ministry. That's a gift. Use it to your ability. Use it to your advantage. The other thing that I always tell people who are coming up in ministry, this is my number one rule. It is more important to be in the room than to be on the program. Number one rule. I've told every mentee that. I will die on that hill, because if you are diligent about being in the room, you eventually will get on the program. Yeah. It is about relationships. This is not a transactional kind of thing. It's about relationships. And for me, it was always more important to be in the room. What class can I sign up for? What cohort can I be a part of? That's happening at Princeton. I'm going to drive to Princeton and be a part of it. I was like the greatest Princeton student that never was, because I was too close to Princeton. I'm in New York. They were in New Jersey. I was too close not to avail myself to a lecture or a weekend conference. Like, oh yeah, I'm going. I promise. It is more important to be in the room than be on the program. And in this age of sort of ego-driven ministry and quick, as you say, real sound bites, it's really easy to just want to be in the spotlight and be on the program. No, be in the room. It is the room that will inform whether or not you're on the platform.
So many people are so much more intoxicated with creating platforms rather than following purpose.
Well, because you don't create the platform creates you. It creates itself. What do they say? Good steak makes its own gravy.
Absolutely.
Right? This is not about curating platform. If you do the work and you show up for you as your authentic self, the platform will create itself. You'll have one and not even know that you had it. Yeah. I didn't know how people regard it. It took people to tell me how I preached. It took people to tell me the impact that I was making. That's not something that I, reached for myself or tried to create for myself. It created itself. Yeah. God will do that.
Because he can trust you with it.
And that's the thing. Can God trust you? Perfect. Can God trust you in the room? Yeah. If God can trust you in the room, God can trust you on the platform. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to use it for content and try to create something for you. Correct. Where God's saying, I'm trying to get the glory out of your life. Yeah. And
I'm trying to change a life through you. I'm trying to help people through you. Yeah, we're called to a bigger purpose than just content creation.
So then part of that is maybe that there's a struggle to deal with being hidden.
Yes.
And oftentimes you have to be willing to deal with the hidden season before you can really handle the reveal.
Yes. Dr. Frank Thomas did this amazing lecture, and in it he talked about the pastoral arc. And the pastoral arc starts with the unknown years. And he used the illustration of Jesus in the desert. Nobody even knew Jesus was in there. Nobody knew what was happening to Jesus. No one knew how Jesus's ministry would form or become. And yet, Jesus. Thousands and thousands of years later, we still honor Jesus and glorify Jesus and talk about Jesus' stories and build our whole lives around Jesus. Meanwhile, when he was in the desert, nobody knew about it. And so it is the age-old scripture, don't despise small beginnings.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's where the work, that's the foundational work. That's when it happens. And there are times when I wish I could just walk into a small storefront church and just sit in a pew and enjoy worship. This is one of the things I love most to do. Richard Pryor, in an interview, talked about how that's what he would do when he would work out new material. He would go to some remote comedy club and work it out there, where it didn't matter if he failed or not, but that there were people there who were authentic and were just happy, that he could work out his material before he had to go in front of everybody else. He was happy to do it. He enjoyed that. And sometimes I do. I miss the intimacy of just sitting in church, enjoying worship, and not having to face the people, to be able to face the preacher for a change.
I took a 3-month sabbatical several years ago because I needed time. And I went and hid in the balcony of a church, a non-melanated congregation with my kids every week. And it was so liberating that nobody knew me.
Right, because the healer needs to be healed too.
Yeah.
We need a place to regroup and get ourselves back together and be poured into.
If I could go back to my younger self, I would tell them, hey, make sure you build that time in. To be poured in, regroup, recalibrate. Because once you start getting this thing moving a lot, it becomes a little bit more challenging. I want to ask this question.
Sure.
So, you're challenged to talk to so many different things. And now, again, it's going back to on the scene now, we've got to deal with what's happening politically, socially. And so with all those different elements that you're trying to talk to, especially in the growth of a congregation, if none of that mattered, what's the one thing you would want to dive into that's Pastor Tish's go-to conversation about something,
Ooh, this is a good one.
that I really want to, build on. For me, it would be mental health.
For me, it would be African spirituality. Isn't that interesting?
I didn't see that coming.
Right? It would be teaching people that everything that you don't understand is not demonic. It would be about teaching people and highlighting the fact that our histories are rich, our cultures are rich, and that so many of the things that we do unconsciously have come from African spirituality or were informed by African spirituality. So you think that on when it's cold outside, you're just putting Vaseline on your baby's face because, no. That was all about anointing that baby and protecting that baby and the presence of the Holy Spirit on that baby. Yes, it was certainly for lubrication and we wouldn't be ashy because we can't stand to be ashy. But it also had a bigger purpose. It was about a mother or a grandmother putting their hands on that child and speaking over them. I got chills. Speaking over them before they left the house. And I just wish our people knew how rich our culture is and how it does not have to be one thing or the other. I am a Christ follower. I love Jesus. I love God. God don't play about me, and that's clear. That's the engine I choose, right? But there are others, and we have such a rich. This is the things we came over with, or rather, the things we were brought over with. You think you're just making black eyed peas on New Year's Eve? No, that's stuff you came with.
Yeah.
You think we shout because. Oh, the black church, that's a ring shout that comes from Africa. These are things that are innate in us. And so I think I would highlight, some of the things that people deem demonic. If you were to flip that and if someone were to come to the Luke and see people shouting and potentially falling out, somebody could come in and say, no, I'm never going back there. That's demonic. People were fainting in church. We don't look at it that way. Somebody could say, what are you talking about? The blood of Christ. I'm never coming back here. So I think I would teach people that everything that you think is demonic is not.
Yeah.
And we would celebrate our roots more in our culture. And
Or you've got the one that say, that's such an old tradition, the shouting and you got to close and people got to do all of that. And I don't like all that emotionalism. What you don't understand is it does come.
it comes from a place. I know there are people who are like, I don't understand why they shout and all of that. It is in our roots to shout. It is the way that we celebrate, not just from way back. It's the way ritual was performed with a dance. It's the way we express joy. It's the way we express sorrow.
Yeah.
Was through dance and movement. It's one thing we're good at is dance and movement. And sometimes if you don't have the words, you can let your feet do the talking. It's innate in us.
How many times in the Bible you hear and with a loud shout?
And with a loud shout, and with Jesus cried in a loud voice. Lazarus come out. Jesus cried with a loud voice.
Yeah.
I commend my spirit to,
walk around the wall and shout.
And shout. It's in us.
Yeah.
It's in us. And I think I just want our people to celebrate that a little bit more.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do.
I was talking to my kids about that just the other day, about a sermon series that I want to do next year.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I did one last year. It was this year for, I think, Black History Month, the Gospel According to Gullah. And I used the New Testament Gullah Bible to preach from.
I love it.
Yeah.
Plug. Chris Lamarck is a member of our congregation. Mm-hmm. He's director of a film called Unspoken. Mm-hmm. And it asks the question, is Christianity a white man's religion? And he interviews professors and celebrities and theologians across the country about the rich tradition of Africans in the Bible.
Yeah.
And it is a wonderful, if you haven't seen it,
I love it.
You should go see it. But here's the question I have for you. You're now at this stage in ministry, and we talked earlier about things we tell our younger self. What do you go back and tell that younger Pastor Tish about, if you can get this right, it will really serve you well when you get over here? And you're talking to your younger self, but we're letting some of the younger generation ear hustle some of the things that you're saying, because you really want the next gen, and not just faith leaders. You're talking to people leading. Get this, please.
I would tell young Pastor Tish, don't be afraid of their faces. Don't be afraid of their faces. I think I spent more time concerned with what everybody else would think and say than what God thought, what God said in the beginning. Yeah, don't be afraid of their faces. As a matter of fact, for the last maybe year, I've been walking into the pulpit saying that before I go into the sanctuary, actually. Don't be afraid of their faces. Yeah.
Because it drives so much of what we do, whether it's the affirmation, or, even if, you're proclaiming, if you fixate on somebody who's just kind of not looking at you right, it can throw everything
off. And also, so I would say, don't be afraid of their faces, and they are not your enemies. Let me explain what I mean when I say that. Had a little talk with Jesus. I was like, my enemies and my enemies and my enemies this. And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit record scratch has stopped. These are not your enemies. Adversaries, yes. Enemies, no. Clear as a bell. The call that is on your life, you haven't seen an enemy yet. You'll get them. Yeah. But this ain't it. And I was immediately reminded of, if you can't deal with the men, how can you run with the horses immediately? And so it's like, no, these are not your enemies, dear. The call that I have on your life, there's an enemy, but it ain't, this is light stuff compared to adversary. Sure, there's going to be some pushback, but no, and don't be afraid of their faces. And Psalm 35 has been my portion. Lord, fight against those who fight against me and contend against those who contend against me.
Well, you know what? I'm with the Cat Williams crew. Sometimes you need adversaries, and you need to go find you some. If you ain't got them, go get them.
Go get them, because they keep you on your knees. And
if you're not headed in the right direction, then you're not going to get any of that.
Yeah.
But when you're doing something that's significant,
Yeah.
you better believe you're going to find them.
You're going to find them. And well, you won't even have to find them.
They find you.
You ever notice how you never have to look for weeds?
Right.
Weeds just present
They just
themselves.
pop up.
They don't need water. They don't need fertilizer. They don't need plant food. Weeds are ever present. You never have to find weeds. But the good stuff you got to dig for and pick for and reach for.
Yeah.
So the weeds, they're going to be there regardless. But they also keep you on your knees.
Yeah.
Lest you feel like you've got this thing all together. Yeah. It's the thorn. The thorn is necessary. Yeah. Pastor Stephen Thurston says there's therapy in the thorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't let the weeds cause you to lose perspective of the whole lawn or the whole landscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just those.
It's just, okay, so that's the biggest thing. The idea that I think that's the other thing. Maybe I would tell myself, and it's not everybody.
Yeah.
Because the weed patch have you believing the whole garden is contaminated. Right. And that's not the case.
You might have to pick them out, but it's
have
okay.
To pick them out. They're going to grow back.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have the nerve to look like flowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the other thing. They're going to look like dandelions.
Well,
you know.
That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I think that's great advice. You know, I love it. Don't be afraid of their faces.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid of it. Well, again, I said earlier, you're changing so much the culture and faith community. Tell us about this book, and then make sure that we double click on some other important pieces too.
Yes. So my book is the Diagonal Preaching book. Reaching the corners, cracks, and crevasses of every congregation. And it's based on the idea of centering those who are usually marginalized in the text and in our congregations. But I'm also excited because I built a GPT. So there's the DPGPT, the Diagonal Preaching GPT. So we're using these tools anyway. Why not use them from someone who looks and sounds like you? So just look up Diagonal Preaching GPT and you'll see me. And it'll be a great and helpful tool with your sermon writing, your sermon prep. Even if you just need a prayer or a motivation for the day, it can do that too. I'm excited about it.
And we can find it where?
You can just look up Diagonal Preaching GPT and it will come up.
The book, we can pick up
the book. The book is on Amazon. So make sure you go to Amazon for the Diagonal Preaching book.
How can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube, First Baptist Church of Bridgehampton, and you can find me on Facebook, Tish Dixon-Williams, and Instagram at who'sthat.lady. Just look for the silhouette.
Make sure you go and listen to Pastor Tish Dixon-Williams. It will bless your life.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
You are a blessing.
I
appreciate so grateful. Your friendship. I do. Thank you.
Grateful.
God bless you.
Grateful blessings to you. So grateful for you. Thanks so much again for joining us. Listen, as always, I need to remind you, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this content with others. We want to make sure that we're encouraging the world as we all learn to be better leaders. Until next time, keep standing.